Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah, and I'm the content editor at GitLab. And I'm here with Kamil. Kamil, do you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, sure. I'm Kamil Trzciński. I'm actually living in Warsaw, Central Europe, Poland. So I've been like with GitLab, I guess, for over 5 years right now. It was kind of quite a journey for me. So
Yeah, could you tell us how you first started at GitLab? How did you join?
actually, like I know GitLab like way before I joined the company. I was like always appreciating the GitLab, the product, the GitLab CI, which was like still in the early days as a separate piece. I really like what Dimitri with Sid they did, something that was really simple, clean. I really appreciated like these aspects of the GitLab. So I was kind of like looking at GitLab and implementing GitLab in my prior company when we wanted really like to leverage the GitLab CI. And at some point, I actually like figure out that I maybe do something useful. And for me, like maybe it's this kind of like the me approaching GitLab was when I made GitLab CI multi-runner, which right now is a GitLab runner. But I did it really selfishly because I wanted to learn Go language, and I was looking for some purpose of like doing something that's gonna be useful. And like this is why like I initially created GitLab CI multi-runner to solve like my specific desire to learn Go language in my specific problems, which then kind of turned out super versatile that it first become like unofficial runner, then it become official runner, and then I got hired by Sid because like he reached to me and like, hey, like it's awesome, can you work for us? And I was like, sure, why not?
Well, that's quite the story. That's very exciting. So Sid had mentioned that when you first first contributed to GitLab, it had to do with this GitLab runner that you just referenced. So what made you feel empowered to contribute to GitLab despite not being, part of the GitLab team yet?
Like project being completely open source, like public, like it was like really easy to use to see exactly how it's built, what are like the ingredients, and it was easy like to reach the owners of the project to get some feedback. So I guess like from my perspective, like this kind of openness in being able to add something useful that may be useful for me, but maybe it's also useful for someone else, as it was in this particular case.
And so what year was it that you contributed to the GitLab runner? Was it like 2014, 2015?
It was beginning of 2015.
Okay.
So I think like my first commit is like from January of 2015.
Oh,
But
nice.
I kind of started working for GitLab in June of 2015, so it kind of
Wow.
like was pretty fast, I guess.
Yeah, that's super fast. That's very impressive. So, what made you first think that, when you had first started, GitLab version control was one product and GitLab CI was another product? And what made you think that they should really become integrated into one DevOps tool?
So like when I joined GitLab, like I was really tasked with like the CI because it was like my primary focus at that time. But like at some point, it kind of like got to me that like between the CI being separate and GitLab, there is so much overlap that like it's like makes us to spend significant amount of time like to develop these two pieces separately. I mean by the overlap, like there are some functions of the CI and the GitLab that are common. And one of these functions that I kind of like now recall right away is like the uh, information about the commit that you see. For example, like if you go to see like your pipeline, I mean, it was not pipeline at the time, but rather build, you would have to show like this commit message, commit description, author, and all of these details. But also like, and like it was, we already had that in GitHub. And like,
Mhm.
we would have to like re-implement that in a much better form in the GitLab CI separate. But like it kind of is like one of these building blocks. And like another building block was really like this whole authentication scheme that like you had to go to another product to log in, to use your credentials and things like that, where like I know that like CI feels like a very big piece, but like it kind of is really like another layer on top of something that's like has good fundamentals. And like GitLab had really these strong fundamentals of like being good repository management solution. And like CI felt really like as a something that would really benefit a lot from like rebuilding, sorry, not rebuilding, reusing all of these aspects that were already done, adding exactly like making me focus on what is important from the CI perspective, not really what is already done somewhere else. So like all of these pipeline integration, so I could like by this efficiency move of integrating, I could focus on builds, pipelines, artifacts, all of these features that people really wanted, but not really the focus myself with building these generic functions that are already well covered by someone else in the GitLab, the product.
Yeah, absolutely. So, did you ever imagine when you made this suggestion to Sid and Dimitri that A, they would take you up on it, or that it would work so well and would in some way shape the future of the company, building this all-in-one DevOps tool?
Not really, to be honest.
Were you surprised when they took you up on it?
Not really. I'm maybe like this kind of person that has a lot of different ideas that plays with. And this was like one of these main ideas that I'm playing with. I just didn't expect this like to be like one of these more brilliant ideas, I guess, in the end. Because like, I mean, it's really intriguing because like after some time, like after we did it, there were other projects also doing that same, which is really like something that makes like completely like move that to way beyond like the initial intention. Because like if you were like initially using someone else's ideas and at some point someone started to use our ideas, it's actually like I guess this is the outcome that you really want to see.
Right, exactly. It's kind of like a proof of concept. Like everybody, you've just like validated the fact that this was this fantastic idea. And that sort of brings me to why we're having this conversation today. You may have heard that Gartner has developed a market guide focused on DevOps as an all-in-one tool. And so how does it feel to think like in some ways your suggestion went on to shape the future of GitLab, which went on to create a lot of other sort of copycat, or for lack of a better word, products that sort of use that all-in-one CI tool with the version control. And now we're having the Gartner market guide is saying, hey, DevOps is this like now this is a category basically.
Yes, it's really interesting because like it's like if you look at that from the timeline perspective, it's like it's another iteration of the innovation built on like some very simple concept. And like we together as like the company, but also like the whole community, we are adding more ideas to this innovation cycle, which actually makes everything like to be much more robust in the end. So I guess like in this, from that perspective, I think it kind of shows like how important is like being efficient on focusing on what is like important. Like, I mean like we like redoing all of this stuff, like probably over and over, but on the other hand, it's like it's kind of defocus you from what is important. So I guess like this trying to be efficient to reuse as much as existing components as possible is really something that makes you really focus on providing a value, but not really like reinventing the same thing over and over. And probably this, I mean, this is like the biggest learning lesson from like last 5 years. Like we need to be clever to really try to like find a right value, like try to provide a value that is on something existing, try to reuse, try to help others, try to release as many components as it's possible to have like much faster cycle of this innovation, to shorten that. I mean, like, don't really kind of try to reinvent the whole world. Try to like build on what is already there. And I guess like the DevOps is really like, it's yet another like iteration after iteration after CI, after CI CD. Then like we kind of added more infrastructure as a service tools, and like it's yet another innovation built on top of that. So I guess this is like the aspect that like it's really the most intriguing for me to see exactly how it further evolves, like with our knowledge that like we are learning every day.
Right, absolutely. Like, who knows what is next, right? Any ideas?
I mean, if I would know that.
If I had a crystal ball. Well, thank you so much for taking the time. Is there anything else that you want to share that I maybe haven't asked?
I think like your questions were like right on the point and brilliant. So I guess it's everything from me at this moment.
Okay, great. Well, you know where to find me if you want to follow up. And thank you so much for taking the time to speak with me today. I really appreciate it.
Sure. Thank you.
All right. Take care. Bye.